Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bridget Ekpo, and thank you for joining me. So today I'm talking about what I consider to be the height of all tensions in relationships, domestic violence. What is going on? I personally believe that there is an attack on relationships, especially African relationships, for people who live abroad. There's an attack on it because the issues is too much. There's so many issues that why relationships is so difficult, problems here and there, and this domestic violence one, especially in the US, is one that it tops it all for Nigerians or Africans who live in the US. Is down to the culture. In African society, they are the all and all. I think after God is men. Men are worshipped, they are honored, they are given all the respect and benevolence and everything you can think of. So a man grows up, automatically feeling that position as the head. Even as a young boy, I remember growing up, boys they don't do anything at home. All they do is that, they just go out there and play football and they come back. You as a woman, or you as the little girl, are the ones who's going to go to the kitchen to go and help your mom to cook. You wake up in the morning to sweep or clean. You're the one that's going to get water. You do all the domestic chores. Boys are generally exempted from it. It's only the girls that do it. So a boy is born into that culture where he is at best seen as a superior to a woman. So they grew up in that culture knowing that, oh, as a woman, I'm superior to you. So even when we educate our children in those days, you find parents telling their daughters they prefer to educate the men, because they'll tell the girls that even if you go to the highest university in this world, you get all the degrees and qualifications, you're going to end up in a man's kitchen. So that's the culture that we come from. It's elevated. Men are elevated high up there and women are down here. It is how it has always been in African cultures. Women are not equals. So when a man comes from an African background and he comes overseas to a place like the US, he might struggle to be able to understand a culture where men and women are seen as equals. So if you come to the US or you come anywhere overseas and you see that women have the same rights, they are equals, because white people don't consider women as inferior to men. It's a different culture. So it becomes a struggle for some men, that a woman is equal to you. They talk to you, you talk to them. That hierarchy where you are as a man, as the head, or except in families where they still value, they have those values, maybe in their Christian life or whatever life, where they still see the man as the head. In most cases, it's equals. So men will struggle with that. So if a woman comes into a relationship with a man like that, then it's going to be a problem, because it's not used to treating women as equals. It's not used to seeing a woman as an equal to him. So he might get easily offended when you talk to him, or if you talk to him or you see him, or you don't have that awe for him. If that respect or that elevated submission is not there, then it's going to be a problem. So you find men beating, only beating, killing. That's the one I struggle with. Because normally we know, even back in Africa, men generally beat because it's nothing. Because in Africa, if a man beats his wife and the woman goes and complain, you go and complain to your parents, the first thing they will ask you is, what did you do? So that's the society in Africa. And they will tell you, go home, go back home to you. Your parents are not going to take you back because a man is beating you. So it's accepted in the society. It's a way of life. I know very few women who have left their marriages because a man is beating them. They will say, you want to leave your husband for somebody else to take because he's beating you? Better go, my dear. Go and manage. That's how everybody is managing. That's the culture. And there's something very, very wrong and sick about it. Because from beating, if one is not careful, one day, we're hearing it now. We're hearing it all over the news with all these celebrity actresses who are married, and they're exposing it right now, how men are abusing them and beating them and assaulting them. And from assault, it starts from a slap. Before you know, beating. From beating, one day, the man will kill you. That's it, because physiologically, men are stronger than women. That is how God has created. Women are weak. So if a man, from a slap alone, or from just ordinary fighting, you can kill a woman, because women we're not physically strong like men. So when you come to a country like the US, for instance, where you have access to weapons, like you have access to a gun, and you, Nigerian man that know where you're coming from, all the way from Africa, you carry your left leg to the US to go and struggle to survive, to make something out of your life, and you go and buy a gun and keep it at home, then invariably what you're giving room to the enemy. You're giving room to Satan, because one day you get angry, and if things don't go well at home, and maybe the man is mouthing off, we know how to mouth off, how to talk, and there's an argument. Before you know, you go and take gun. Before you know, it's happened. You've killed her, and then your eyes will now be open. Some, even in presence of their children, they will kill their wives, and then they will now call the police and say, hey, this is what I have done. And then so the woman is dead, and the man goes to jail. Then what happens to the children? Just imagine this psychological and emotional trauma that these children are going to be thrown into, because it's of a singular incident of lack of control. And when you come to the from Africa background, as a man, if you're not able to adjust to know that, okay, this is a different society where we live now, women have rights, women are equals, they are not seen as subordinates or anything like that, and be able to navigate your relationship in a way that it does not affect you, mentally or in your ego, because African men have very huge egos. That's the truth about it. Men have egos generally, but African men have really huge egos, and if anything is threatening that ego, they feel like, no, I'm a man, I can't take this, and then before you know it, the woman is dead. The issue of imported wife is a very serious one, because when you've lived abroad for a while and then you go home and go and take a wife to marry, and you bring her here, for most men in the US who go and marry, send them to school, you pay money for them to go and train as a nurse. And so when they graduate from that school, you expect some returns on your investments. And so when the returns is not coming, or it comes for a while and it stops, it becomes a problem, because the men will see it as, I've invested in you. I've gone to Africa. I've taken you maybe from a poverty background. I brought you to America. Now you are working. You are making money. That money belongs to me. I own you, and I own whatever you have. If the woman is not someone that will use wisdom, to work with that man in a way that they can resolve the issues without it escalating, then it becomes a problem. Because to be honest, there's no human being in this world that wants to be enslaved, because that's a form of slavery. And to be honest, it's an abuse. If you expect somebody to go and work, they are the ones doing the work, just because you are the one that brought them here now, so they should do all the work and give you all the money. Nobody can do it. Even if people do it, they only do it for a while. After a while, it becomes a problem, because you are the one working. Even if you're going to join your resources together, it's not about you going to work and handing over your paycheck to one person in the name of marriage. So instances like that, it becomes a problem. The man becomes, very upset and offended that you are rude, you've opened your eyes, you're in America. You know what they say, that girls in the city, they open eye, but the one you go and bring in the village will open eye more than the one in the city. So it's something similar to that. You now feel like, okay, maybe she begins to make more money than you. If the woman begins to make more money, for instance, it becomes a problem, because women tend to be more hardworking. Men are hardworking as well, but women can really push themselves. They are doing two jobs. This nursing job that here is so difficult that you work hours on end and you don't sit down, you stand, and then you do 80 hours job a week. And then you go and hand over your paycheck. It's not something that is so easy for someone to do. And if a man is not able to manage that in a way that they can resolve how the money, the financial situation in the family is going to go, then it escalates of domestic violence. And then about this issue of tax reform, we don't have it here in the UK. We don't really have tax reform where you get a huge check being paid to you. We get our tax refund like monthly. It's not something that they save up for you for a whole year and send to you. I hear that even that is a problem when they get tax refund, if they cannot agree on how they are going to spend the money. This bill splitting for couples who live abroad, for Nigerian couples or African couples who live abroad, is a problem, because culturally we were not brought up in a way that women and men will split bills 50-50. That's not our culture. It's a man that provides for the family in African culture. Women support. Fine, we are not in Africa. This is overseas. So there we are I mean, the bills that we have are different. We'll pay more bills, so it will be unrealistic for any woman to be working and putting all the money in her pocket and expecting the man to foot all the bill. But again, you need to look at it and to be able to agree as to who is going to be paying who. It's not you bring mortgage or rent, split it or down the line, 50-50. You bring 50, bills 50, everything is 50-50. Then it becomes a problem, because so the issue of trust is one of the issues why domestic violence is so prevalent and why all these men are killing these women. So the woman will go to work and go and do 40 hours, one job. The same week, you go to another job and go and do 40 hours. So 80 hours. What time do you have to stay at home? There's no time. Just calculate it in a week. How many hours are in a week? And if you remove 80 hours in a week, how many hours do you have left? A friend of mine in the US who is a nurse told me that there was a point when she was working for 20 hours a day. I could not believe it. I was like, what? Are you crazy? What are you talking about? She was like, yes, I was doing 20 hours a day. I would do 12 hours on this job, come home, sleep 4 hours, and I'll go and do 8 hours on another job. That is how hard these women are working. So if somebody is working 20 hours in a day, then you have only 4 hours. And the only thing humanly possible that you can do in 4 hours is sleep. That's it. You can't cook, you can't clean, you can't take care of husband or children or anything. That 4 hours sleep is not even enough in 24 hours, for goodness sake. So if there's no trust, the man will say, oh, maybe it's not work you're going to. Maybe you have other places that you're going to, So it builds a lot of problems, and before you know it, you hear the woman is dead. And then again, the woman will tend to neglect her responsibility at home because she's working so much all these hours trying to bring in money. And then what happens to the children in the meantime? What happened to the home? What happened to the man who is going to do the cooking, the cleaning? It's a problem, because you cannot do, it's not humanly possible for a woman to pull in such hours and be able to be a good wife, a good mother, a good housemaker. It's not possible. The hours in the week or the hours in the day are just not enough for you to do all those roles rolled into one. So that's a problem. If the woman is not meeting her obligation as a wife and as a mother and as a homemaker, it becomes a problem. That's another issue again, when the woman is doing better than a man. If the man is not able to manage it, then it becomes a problem. If he feels that, okay, the woman is an African man, will never allow a woman to usurp his authority. Never. They will never. They will rather die than allow themselves to become the woman, so to say, in the relationship, and for the woman to become the man, because they feel like, I'm the man. I'm the man. How you're not submitting to me? You're not respecting me. You're talking to me anyhow. Especially about finances. This finances is a very big issue. If she's making more money and he doesn't have a good job, she's a nurse or a doctor, and she's pulling in a lot of money, and the man doesn't have a good job like that, it becomes a problem, because men can be resentful towards women who are successful. Yeah, they can. They will begin to resent you, that, oh, it's because of this work that you are doing, that's why you don't have any respect. That is because of this money you are making, that's why you are behaving like this, that's why you are not doing this, that. Before you know it, and a little seed, this thoughts that we have comes in little packages like this. A little thought like this can be a seed that will germinate in your heart, and if you begin to nurture it, you begin to water it, and you begin to feed it, before you know, it can escalate and it will become another thing. Before you know, you've committed murder. So that's why people need to, really be prayerful. And if you've got anger management problem, take yourself to some counseling. And you women out there, please don't be quiet. If a man has anger problems, you better don't keep quiet and say, no, it's not going to happen. Those ones that died there, they didn't think it was going to happen. Because African women tend to know how to manage things that they shouldn't manage. You just keep quiet and say it's going to get better. No, it won't happen to me. Or because you want to be Mrs. or because you want to be married. What will people say? Some will say, what will people say? My parents are married. We've been married for 50 years. So, is it my marriage that will not work? And they will not tell anybody because they will be so ashamed. Sometimes you are ashamed. You don't want to tell your parents back in Nigeria. But please tell someone. If you're in an abusive relationship, even if it's not beating you yet, you need to speak out. You need to tell somebody and run for your life. Run for your life. That one, I cannot even overestimate it. You need to run. There are shelters, there are domestic violence programs that you can go to the council, go to the local authority, go to the police, go to anywhere. Just go, take your children and run. Don't wait till somebody, you need to run. Except the man is actively willing to seek help and you can see that he's making effort to change. Otherwise, please run for your life. It's been your girl, Bridget Ekpo. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. There is a red button down there. Just click on it. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed and those who watch my videos every week. Subscribe on the red button. Click on the bell so you can get notification whenever I upload my videos. I am on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter, as well as Snapchat, and my handle is @Obodo TV. I will come your way again shortly. Thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.